Hi, I'm Austin Jarrett from Allett Mowers, and this is episode 3 of our lawn renovation and seed trial. And what I wanted to show you was a part of the trial that we've decided to do. You've seen what we've done to the 100 square metre plus larger scale trials, but what I also wanted to do was to do a smaller scale trial where everything was locked down a bit tighter so that I didn't get so many variables. And here we have the 6 different seed mixtures, each in their own individual tub. These were all sown exactly 9 days ago, so to give you an idea of the starting of some of these now with the germination. Some of them are ever so slightly starting, and others there's absolutely nothing whatsoever. So of these 6, we're going to be coming back and having a look at these, but just to give you an idea, while there's nothing there, these are the seed mixtures that we're using, and I'm also going to give them names. So we're going to call this one Fine 1. Fine 1 is 90% fescues and 10% brown top bent. So that means that the fescues, 90% by weight that is going to give us very fine leaf. But at the same time we've got brown top bent as well, which will give us some knitting in capabilities, some good disease resistance, and also the brown top bent seems to survive well under harsher conditions as well, to give us some coverages for different times of the year. The second one is called Fine 2. Now Fine 2 is actually exactly the same seeds, we've just got them in a slightly different mixture. So this is 80% fescue and 20% brown top bent. The important thing is that does sound like it's just a 10% change, but actually the way that seeds are measured is seeds by weight, but actually brown top bent seed is much smaller than the fescue. So for example, a brown top bent is about 10,000 seeds per gram, whereas a fescue typically is less than 1,000, 600, 800 seeds per gram. So you can see in terms of the seed count, that is very considerably different, even though from the percentage weight you might think it was just a small difference. Next, this is Quality 1. So now we're talking here, these are more greens type results we're expecting to get, and this one here, Quality 1 and Quality 2, we're looking at normal types of lawn mixtures that you would expect to get. So Quality 1 is 70% ryegrass and 30% slender creeping red fescue. The Quality 2 is actually again just a slight change on that. We've got 40% ryegrass, 35% slender creeping red fescue, 20% chewing fescue, and 5% brown top bent. This one's 100% ryegrass, and we like ryegrass especially in the cooler climates because it gives great striping, and we've got now with these very latest varieties, we've got some much finer leaves and also the ability to be able to mow that much lower. So we're going to have some fun with the mowing on this one to see how much the plants thrive under the different heights of cut, whether they become too big a challenge to maintain and get ground cover if we go for much lower heights of cut. So that's the 100% ryegrass, and that ryegrass is actually made up of 4 different cultivars to give us all different types of disease resistance and characteristics to make sure it covers us for all eventualities. And finally, we all have that shady area by the side of the house or amongst trees, that shady area where the grass really doesn't get any direct sunlight, and we've got some varieties in here that will thrive, and in fact they don't do very well in direct sunlight, but will do much better in the shade. So the shady's got an 80% fescue, that's strong creeping reds, chewing and hard fescues, but we've got 15% smooth stalk meadowgrass and also a 5% brown top bent. So this will give us absolutely evens in terms of the environment for each one of these, and you can already see that anything with a ryegrass in it is actually way ahead. So we're 9 days in and this is now germinating and really moving on. Each one of these tubs, the way that we prepared them was I drilled the holes in the bottom of the tub, I put a layer of gravel, and then I've used the soil from actually this garden here, because obviously the trials are about this garden, so let's try them out in that soil. And then what I've also done is split each tray into 3 topping mixes. So I've put ½ inch of topping on this because I wanted to have a look at how different overseeding methods might work and might be dependent on the topping. So in this portion closest to me, I put ½ inch of compost over the seed to cover the seed. In the middle, I've got a 70-30 sand soil mix, and closest to you, that is the same soil that is actually making up the base. And already we're starting to see, certainly with the ryegrasses, that the ryegrasses appear at this stage to be actually having a much higher and faster germination at this very early stage. So that's interesting. We'll see how that develops. We're not just going to take this a few days into germination to see before we start to make a judgment on that. So each one of these seed boxes themselves have got 4 grams of seed, ½ an inch below the surface, and that 4 grams is going to give us the equivalent of, having worked it out, 90 grams per square metre, which is actually really quite a high seed rate, but I did just want to make sure that we got as much germination as we possibly could. The other reason why we've got these is that when you're looking at the grass behind us here and seeing how that's growing, it's not quite the same as being able to pick these up, put them on the table and actually really examine what the sward's looking like and how much thatch that's building up. So I'm hoping to keep these going for some time, and that's why I've put some depth of soil in there, and I might even have to sort some irrigation out over the summer. But what I am hoping to do is to build a framework or something like that so I can use a cylinder mower to run over these boxes and mow them just as they would be if they were in the field.